Trapped Games, the Konami Rebirth series. These are 3 titles released for the Wii as WiiWare in 2008 and 2009. They were Gradius Rebirth, Contra Rebirth, and Castlevania The Adventure Rebirth. Despite sharing the Rebirth branding, each of these games did something different to stand out. The first released was Gradius Rebirth, and perhaps a better title for this would have been Gradius Remixed, as you have 5 ships to choose from, and there are 5 levels, all of which taken from other Gradius games, though all of them have some changes made to them, hence the remixing I referred to. While this didn't really bring anything new to the Gradius series, I don't think it was ever really meant to. It was a classic Gradius experience that you could download on the Wii, and that's all it was really trying to be. Contra Rebirth was an entirely new game in the Contra series, though gameplay-wise it did take a lot of inspiration from Contra 3: The Alien Wars. That is definitely to this game's benefit, as there were some dark times for the Contra series before this released. This is of course your classic Contra, with all of its running and gunning intact. There is a story in play here that involves some time travel shenanigans, but none of that really matters, as I don't think there's a single person who has ever played a Contra game for the story. You're here to pick up weapons and blast aliens away. And it does a great job of scratching that particular itch in a way that only Contra can. Castlevania: The Adventure Rebirth. This is a remake of the Game Boy title, Castlevania: The Adventure. The original Game Boy title is not well regarded, so this is actually what I think we've all always wanted to see. A remake improving upon a bad game. So unlike the original, in the Rebirth version there are sub-weapons. You also have stairs instead of the ropes. And this is also a throwback to a more classic style of Castlevania, in that it is in no way, shape, or form a Metroidvania. Though the levels are not entirely linear, most of them have some kind of branching path you can take, though it can be rather difficult to actually access these alternate paths. But figuring these things out and exactly what you have to do does add a bit of replay value. Overall, this remake has a lot more in common with the original Castlevania than with its Game Boy incarnation. As of now, all 3 of these games are unavailable, as all 3 of these were available on the Wii Shop channel, but that closed January of 2019. These were fairly cheap releases, with each of them only costing about $10. To this day, they have not been made available anywhere else, and there is actually no reason for them not to be made available, as Konami has the rights to all of these games and could release them in some kind of collection. In fact, there have been collections released for Castlevania, Gradius, and Contra at this point, but all of them are missing their Rebirth incarnations. So personally, I hope that one day we get a Konami Rebirth collection containing these 3 games, preferably with some manner of physical release, as these were 3 great Wii digital exclusives that don't deserve to be forgotten. So please, Konami, don't leave these games trapped. Please do subscribe, comment, like, and tell your friends.